Yeah. If everybody will give me your attention and get to where you can kind of see me, if at all possible. I want to welcome you back. This will be your speed building class, and we'll check where you are and work with where you are and get you going on your speed building adventure. It's going to be a little different this semester. We're in a full fall semester now, so it's going to be it's going to be structured differently than it was the summer, okay? Summer was a short 10-week session. We're in a 16-week fall semester session now, so we have a little bit more time. So I will tell you my great stories. One of the things I like to do every semester is start with a visual. And I usually do an animal of some kind. So my visual for the fall semester is the eagle. Now, we know a lot about the eagle. It is the national bird of the United States, right? But there's some facts probably about the eagle that you don't know. First of all, it has a wing. Some of the eagles have a wingspan of between 70 and 90 inches. Now that's pretty huge. They have excellent eyesight, which is important for us also. They mate for life. And I don't know if you knew that or not, but eagles don't share themselves with other birds, okay? They mate with eagles, and they're monogamous. I know, I said it a different way, and yeah, he's laughing. Okay, they're monogamous, so they stay together until one bird passes away. And when one bird passes away or dies, then they go usually and find another mate. But the male and female stay true to each other all the time. Now, that doesn't necessarily have anything relative to court reporting. It's just telling you a little bit about why I chose this bird, okay? They also build their nest together. And so we're building a nest together. Whether you know it or not, your camaraderie together with all of us together in the classroom, with our reporters who help us out so much, with the faculty that will be here for you. And most of you have never met all the faculty. And this really isn't all of them yet, but it's most of them. And so we're all here building this nest of court reporting together. And so we want to do that. We want to bring to it productivity. We want to bring to it new life. And eagles, typically, the female eagle typically lays not any more than 3 eggs. The reason that they're sort of endangered, several reasons, but one of the reasons they've been endangered is because when the mother eagle lays her eggs, like I said, she generally has 3, but the firstborn eagle is kind of selfish. And so that eagle doesn't like the other eggs that are there, and they will eat them, unfortunately. So that's why there's not as many of them, and they're not as prolific because of that reason. That doesn't mean anything to you either, because we're not going to eat each other. but just to let you know that we are in this kind of thing together. They are incredibly strong, and I think you have to be incredibly strong to do the court reporting program. They move very fast, and that is my ultimate desire for you, is that you move as fast as you possibly can. So I want you to be challenged by that. Now, when they teach their eaglets to fly, so the eaglet survives, okay, and the mother eagle is teaching her eaglet to fly. I don't know if you know it, but they build their nests up on really high cliffs and everything because they don't want predators to come get them. So they build up very high. So when it's time for the eaglet to learn how to fly, what do you think the mother does? She pushes them right out of the nest. And so that's the way you kind of were in theory, you know. You kind of got pushed into it, then you got pushed out of the nest, and you started coming into speed building, and you were doing this, right? You were flapping those wings, trying to learn how to fly, okay? So what the eagle does, the mother eagle does, is if she sees that the eaglet is having trouble, she will swoop down, because she's always got him in her sight. she will swoop down, come underneath it, and catch the eaglet on her back. And then she will take it back up, and then she'll push it off again, and it learns to fly. So eventually they go from this to doing this beautiful, graceful movement that they have. So that's kind of what we feel we're doing sometimes, is that we're pushing you out, but I want you to know that there's somebody here always to catch you. You are never going to crash and burn unless you choose to crash and burn. All right? Now, as I said, the schedule is going to be a little bit different for you in this fall semester than it has been this summer. Actually, at night, you're going to have 4 different teachers, okay? Now, as many of you have already signed up for Mr. Zarati's class, the Eclipse class, that is going to meet right at the beginning on Wednesday and Thursday night. And there's going to have to be a little bit of a room change because of the size. It's a huge class, and we're happy about that. But it's caused a little bit of space problem. So on Thursday night, on Wednesday and Thursday night, you can meet in 303. So you'll be in 303 for the Eclipse class. However, I believe he has said, and he may have already told some of you, that in about a month, his commitment to the church of what he's doing now is going to be over. So he would like to move the Thursday night to Monday night. So have you Monday and Wednesday night. So when he changes to Monday night, that created a little problem in scheduling, but I have acquired this room next door, the 312, where we got chairs from just a minute ago. It's a pretty good sized room, and so that's where you will be on Monday and Wednesday night. But that's only when he tells you he's ready to make that change. For right now, you will meet him this Wednesday. Well, you'll meet him tomorrow too, but you'll meet him this Wednesday and you'll meet him Thursday for Eclipse. All right? Now, we do have a schedule for your dictation, which is going to change a little bit. It's going to vary just a little bit from what you're used to doing. But this first month, we're going to keep it pretty much the same schedule as he had it. On Monday nights, Mr. Hopkins is going to be your teacher. All right? And he is going to be doing probably literary with you. And we're going to have 2 hours of that, and then he's going to test you at the end of that second hour, and you will transcribe right then. Okay? It's kind of the same way you did this summer, but only for the first month. All right? Because we're going to put you in something else after that. On Tuesday night, Mr. Zarati will be your lead instructor. Mr. Flint will be your second voice. And he is fantastic, has a fantastic second voice. And so you'll love his dictation. It'll be 2 males together, but I think that's kind of good too, where you get to hear different things. On Wednesday night, you'll go to Eclipse. On Thursday night, now you have a little bit of a dilemma that you're facing, because at first you're going to be, and you'll have that on Monday night when Mr. Zarati goes back to Monday. So you're going to have a conflict of what to go to. I'm going to suggest that you go to your Eclipse class. Go to your Eclipse class. That's important, because everything we do for you in dictation is going to be recorded and put on the wiki. Okay? So you're not going to lose anything. You'll just have to practice it at a different time. On Thursday night, I will be your teacher, and we're going to be doing jury charge, and Mr. Flint or Ms. Gunter will probably be with me. Part of that time we'll do Q&A and we'll do jury charge, but I will test you in jury charge. Okay? So again, for the first month, we're going to test you here in class. What we're going to try to do, how many of you are at 40? You know you're at 40. Nobody. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, congratulations.
Wait.
You're one back?
Yeah, I'm still in 40. Yeah.
Get after.
Well, that's what I asked. How many? That was my question. How many of you are still in 40? Don't be shy.
Okay.
Just different things.
Raise your hand if you are testing at 40.
If you are testing at 40, we need to know.
That's
okay.
good.
Okay.
Still good.
But we're going to be, I think, pushing you for that first month to get you out of that, so you'll be at 60, and we won't have to worry about that. We're going to try to get you over that little hump, and I think the more that you're in class and the more you do, because you're going to have a lot more time, and you're going to have a lot more dictation than you've had before. Okay, that's the reason for doing it this way. All right, then after that first month, we're going to put you totally on the wiki, because we're hoping that we'll get the 40s over the hump, and we're going to put you totally on the wiki for testing. Okay, for your testing, which means you'll get much more dictation in class. Okay, now, one of the things the court reporters have asked us to do in our advisory committee the other night was to offer more tests for you. So this is the plan that we came up with that we think will work. So every Wednesday, and I'm talking about this after this first month, every Wednesday your tests, all 3 tests, will be on the wiki. And Ms. Mallon's going to show you in just a minute where to go to access that and what to look for and all that stuff. So you will test your 3 different tests on Wednesday. Now, we're trying to become an NCRA approved school. We're doing that for your benefit, not for ours, but for your benefit, because it will offer you a lot of scholarships, an opportunity for some scholarships, and those scholarships are pretty healthy. So we're offering that, we're making that available if we get approved, and I think there's not too much we have to do to get over that hump on that. But one of the things they are requiring is that we monitor your testing. And so Ms. Gunter is here to talk to you about Canvas. So when we switch over after that first month, when we switch over to actual online testing, she will explain what to do with the Canvas, because it's very important you understand how to submit those tests. In addition to that, every Friday, you will be getting 1 additional test. This first week, you're going to be getting an additional literary test. Next week, it'll be a jury charge. The week after that, it'll be a Q&A. Then we'll rotate that. So you'll get extra tests that way. Also, on weeks 4, 8, and 12, weeks 4, 8, and 12 of the semester, you will be getting a test blitz. So that means Monday there will be a lit for you. Tuesday there will be a jury charge test for you. Wednesday will be your regular 3 tests. Thursday there will be a Q&A for you.
And then Friday the extra.
And then Friday the extra test. So with all that taken into consideration, we figure you will be in class, give or take, about 64 days, and 41 of those days we will offer you tests. Sound like a deal?
Okay.
We're hoping that that will help you get over those humps, and you will be able to get those speeds conquered. And that will also maybe help you with any kind of test anxiety you may feel. Because sometimes you do have that, particularly if you're sitting in a class and the teacher is giving the test in front of you, there's a little anxiety there. So we're going to help you with that. We're going to try to get you over that hump and give you those extra tests so that we can make some progress this semester. We're looking to soar like the eagle this semester in our testing. Okay, I will pass out a schedule to you in just a moment, and you will see how we have it all divided up. Now again, unfortunately there is that little conflict between the Eclipse class and your dictation. But I'm recommending that you go ahead and go to your Eclipse class on the nights, even though we have dictation in here, because you can access that dictation on Wiki. So you're not going to lose anything. Now, you've never had to do this before, but out there in front of my office, in the folder, is our sack pack. It's what we call our sack pack. Our sack pack is your textbook for this semester, all right? You see it? Has the picture of the eagle. It talks about soaring and what we're going to accomplish. Those are also in Canvas, and you can download your own copy. I usually get these done by Friday, get them to Joy then, and she uploads it to Canvas, and you can download from that and make your copies.
Hold it up over here.
Okay.
There you go.
Did we get it? Okay,
Yes.
There we go. And so this will be new every week. All right? Now, in it, the very first thing I have is a little saying that I think is very important for you to understand or to listen to. And I think it's very important for you. It says, don't compare your journey to others. it's very hard for us not to, did you pass? Did you pass? No, I didn't pass this time. Well, you know, and so you start getting kind of down on yourself, or you get down and you know, you're happy for others that are passing, but you have to admit there's still a little tad of jealousy there because they're passing and you're not, you know, and you feel a little bit of angst. Well, we're not going to do that. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. There is no comparison between the sun and the moon. No comparison. They both shine when they're ready. Okay? So the sun is in the day, the moon is in the night. They both shed light, and so they both do when it's their time to do. So you will do when it is your time to do. Okay? You just have to be diligent on your end and practice. Now, in the SAC pack, the dictation that the teachers are going to be giving you for a while will be listed. So I have a literary. On the next few pages, I have a jury charge. On the next few pages, I have a very long Q&A. Now, those of you because you're in the little bit of the lower speed, you'll not get through all this, okay? We'll not get through all of it. It'll probably take most of the time to get through it. But you have it to work on, and you can also listen to it on the wiki. If you want to listen to the higher speeds, please do that, but only listen. Don't try to take, if you're at 40, don't try to take a 100 dictation. Please don't do that, okay? But you can listen to it. It won't hurt to listen to it. One of the things that NCRA wants us to do and has asked us to do is to provide structured practice time. So heretofore we've said, you know, we have all these things on the wiki, just find something and practice it, okay? Just find something and go to it and practice it. And you look at that, and as you will see in just a few minutes, there are tons of things on the wiki. And you look at that and you say, I don't really even know where to go. So we're going to structure where you go. You are required to practice 10 hours outside of class every week. 10 hours outside of class every week. Okay? Yeah, and those of you, I know you're working and you're saying, yeah, how am I going to do that? You have all week to do it. And you have the class to come to, and you also have the time to structure your practice. I have a detailed instruction on how we're going to do the practice for this first week. But on this one page right here, I have a practice schedule. And you will be getting a different practice schedule every week. Have you seen it? Okay. It's not back out there.
I've got it.
Yeah, good. Okay. There'll be a different practice schedule every week. So what I have told you here is for this week, you start out your first 5 minutes, just sit down for 5 minutes and write the alphabet.
Both hands.
Both hands as fast as you can. For 5 minutes. Just do it over and over again. For the next 5 minutes, I want you to do a theory review. And so you say, well, what do I do for theory review? Well, you go to the next page, and up here I have theory review. So you practice what I've put in here for you to review on your theory. Everybody see? Okay. All right. So then we come back to the practice schedule, and it says jury charge dictation. And out beside it, I say links to dictation on the magenta colored section on the wiki. And Ms. Mallon's going to show you in a minute where that is. The pages before that, the 2 pages before that, tell you exactly what I want you to do on those 5-minute dictations. This is a 5-minute jury charge. So now at 40, we don't have any, I don't think we, there's a few 40s on there, not much. I think most of you could go ahead and go to the 60 on this, okay? We would prefer that you do if you feel like you can, okay? So what you will do is you will take that first jury charge. It's a 5-minute take. You will take it cold for 5 minutes, all right? After you have taken it, you will read back that entire take to yourself, okay? You will read it back. You can play it again to see where you missed, where your gaps were, where you had misstrokes, where you had shadows, where you had untrans, whatever you had, or if there was a brief that you know but you didn't quite get, you can practice it then, and you can see where you missed it. So I want you to analyze that 5 minutes, okay? So that's going to take a little time. When you're analyzing that, I want you to make a list of all the words you missed. And for each word you missed, or each stroke that you misstroked, or each thing that you left out, I want you to practice it 10 times. So let's say, for example, you wrote the word, give me a word.
Semester.
Semester, thank you. You wrote the word semester wrong, okay? So you're going to practice, you're going to look up the right way, figure out the right way to write it, you're going to practice that word 10 times. And then you go to the next one, all right? So you are working for accuracy. That's what this directed practice is for. Your speed work will be in class, but your accuracy work is going to be your extra 10 hours of practice. Is everybody following me so far? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It might make more sense also when you get the sack pack and you can see it.
And the sack packs are out there. You can pick them up before you leave, okay? And then I say, okay, after that, 50 minutes is, and just allow 50 minutes for that. Don't kill yourself with it, okay? And then after that is over with, then you go 5 to 10 minutes on compound words. You say, well, where do I get the compound words? Well, guess what? Here they are. The ones I want you to work on, okay? All right, and then you'll do your literary the same way you did your jury charge. And then I say for 5 to 10 minutes, do some conflict words. Well, there's your conflict words down at the bottom. So everything I want you to practice, everybody's doing the same thing. And it's directed, so you know exactly what you need to do. All right? Then you'll go with your testimony, and you'll do the same thing with that. You'll take it, oh, I forgot to tell you. You're going to take it for 5 minutes, you're going to analyze it, read it back, and then you're going to take it one more time. And hopefully you will see a huge difference, or at least somewhat of a difference, between the first time you took it and the second time you took it. But you're only writing that passage 2 times, no more. You're not going to practice on that passage. You write it 2 times and 2 times only. Okay? You'll do that for lit, jury charge, and testimony. Okay? And then I put in the sack pack a little sight writing thing. Now the sight writing is just for fun. It's just for fun. This one happens to be Charlie McDuff and the Test of Time.
They may not know what that is. What sight writing is.
Sight writing means you just write from hard copy. You just write from this copy, okay? Now you're going to have Brontosaurus. You're going to have, what was the other one? Stegosaurus? Yeah. And so you're going to have some words that are very unfamiliar, but it's a cute little story, okay? So I want you to do that. And then the last thing I always try to put in the sack pack, words of wisdom from court reporters, from anywhere I can glean them. This happens to be some calming methods. How do you calm yourself down? Okay? Breathing is essential. Yeah, breathing is essential. And there's some other things that will be in this. And so this is just for reading. Okay, so again, you will get one of these every week. Every practice, 10-hour practice session will be different. We'll be working on different things. So you're not always going to be doing 5-minute dictations. You're going to be doing other things. But what I'm going to use this semester, you will find on the magenta-colored section on the wiki.
Any of you guys colorblind?
Rick is, so that's the reason.
Yeah, that's why I
She's
asked.
going to show you where it is.
But she's going to show you where it is in just a minute. Any questions about the sack pack and what we're doing here? Okay? Anything else about that? All right. So I'm going to let Ms. Mallon. Oh, practice log, yes. We need to know, thank you. We need to know that you've done your 10 hours of practice. Now again, please understand this is outside of class. You don't get to count the 3 hours you're in class. This is outside of class. Okay? And you will be coming for 3 hours. Okay? Well, we're going to test for the first month. It'll be pretty similar to what it was. But after that, you will be having dictation for 3 hours. You need it. You need it. You can't get by with just an hour a night. So, sack pack is your textbook. They're printed out there. They're also on Canvas, so you can print it out. If you'd like to have a copy, like on the weekend, and start looking through this, you can do that. You can start early. Testing will be again. Right now, it's going to be organized and supervised here in class for the first month. After that, it will be on Canvas, and everything will be submitted back through that. The Friday test will be the same way. The extra blitz test will be the same way, and every one of those you will have until midnight Sunday night to turn those in. So you have a lot of time to work on those. But I do want to tell you that it's very, and Ms. Gunter will go over how we're going to figure out what you're doing and what you're not doing. Very strict rules on transcription. Okay, very strict rules on transcription. You can only take 1 hour for each leg or each test that you do. You can't go past that. And that even involves printing it out, okay? Because at the state test, they give you 1 hour for each leg, or a total of 3 hours. Some of our kids before have gotten caught while they were printing. They were through with their test, they had edited it, they were ready to go, they felt pretty good about passing it. And one girl's test got caught in the, didn't get caught in the printer, but she was in the process of printing. And so they would only accept what she had printed, but at the state test, you have to turn it all in at one time, so you have to turn all 3 in. So she failed because of the printing. So we want to get you into the habit of just using your allotted time. Now, a lot of it, guys, is on you. This is a very honorable profession. There is a high code of ethics, a high code of honor, so don't try to inch away on your time at all. It's important that you stay within that time frame of getting your test edited. Now, you take your test outside of that hour, okay? You'll take your test, that doesn't count in that. This is editing time for each one of those legs. So for your jury charge, you have 1 hour from the time you finish taking it to edit it, to proof it, to print it, okay? And then same thing for jury charge, lit, all of them, testimony, okay? Do you have any questions about that? And they will explain it a little bit more in just a minute. Yes?
The dictate, or what's in the SAC pack, the literary, the Q&A,
And jury charge.
the jury charge, dictation can be found in Wiki with that?
We're going to show you all that.
We're going to show you that in just a minute. Yes, yes. But it will be given live to you at night from the SAC pack.
And also, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. You mentioned testing, and it'll be due Sunday.
I'm going to explain that.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll explain.
I'm going to
she'll-
give you more detail.
Yeah, she's going to give you
And even
lots
a
of detail
handout.
about it, okay? Yeah, so you'll know exactly what to do. But do you have any questions about the general layout? It's going to be different. It's going to be a lot of work, but we want to get you through school. As the court reporters tell you, they need you, and they need you right away, and you can get through school quickly, but you really have to apply yourself. We've had a student that got through in 50 weeks, under a year, from start to finish, under a year. She was a little bit of an anomaly, but she practiced all the time. It just depends on how well you learned your theory and how much you practice. It's just all contingent on that. And there's just no easy way around it, is there, Tanya?
You know, your segue was just so apropos, because I'm the horrible warning. Horrible warning, and our prodigy was the perfect example. All I heard was practice, practice, practice. Objection vague. That doesn't tell me anything. Now, as pianists, I didn't practice either. So if you want to take 5 years to get out of school, you can still do it without practicing. I strongly advise not to do it like that, because if you're making $105,500 a year, I just gave away $210,000 because I decided to goof off in school and not figure out how to practice. They've told you how to practice, and I truly believe that this was modeled after the way that Sarah Murphy got through school in 50 weeks. So I think it's definitely worth your time to invest in yourself and your future to get out in closer to 50 weeks than 5 years, because we're not all spring chickens. And we want to make sure that the profession is very strong. And as I'm looking around the room, I see Ryan, I see Cheryl, I see Chris and Christina and Johnny. Your work ethic is so incredible. I'm just moved. I'm so moved by the determination and drive that you have already. And I know the rest of you will do the same. So don't ever think that you're cheating just because you've almost got the thing memorized because you've practiced it so much. You need to practice it until you can't get it wrong.
That's right.
You know, that's the goal. If you think you've got it memorized, do it one more time. It's like a recital piece. And Sarah is also a pianist, and she's the one that brought that to my attention. I always felt like I was cheating if I'd taken this take before, so I always did new material. I never gave myself the advantage of, like you do with a recital piece, practicing it to excellence or near perfection. And that's what the profession demands, is excellence.
Okay.
And so I know you guys have that.
Yeah.
I do.
And that's why we're going to give you directed practice, because we feel like otherwise you're just kind of like that little eaglet, just flapping your wings and not knowing exactly what to do, when to do it. So with that, I'm going to segue into Ms. Mallon and let her show you the wiki. I don't think you guys have been officially shown, have you?
Not officially.
Not officially, the wiki. Well, she is the official wiki person. She created this wiki for us.